everybody. Welcome to the Miss Analytical Radio Show with your host, Miss Analytical. Yeah, my voice is a little bit scratchy. That's because I've been working so hard. I've been waking up at 3:25 in the morning, trying to get that bread, trying to make that paper. So that's why I haven't been making videos recently, because I just started a brand new job, which I like a lot. But I'm not going to get into my new job because, number one, it's a totally different subject. And number two, I don't want to talk about my job, I want to talk about, other things. Like this Growing Up Hip Hop Season 3 finale. I'm sure a lot of people watched it, or maybe a lot of people didn't watch it. Because, to be honest with you, I think this season was sort of lackluster. Whereas the season of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta was more entertaining based on the cast. I think the cast of Atlanta is more interesting, whereas the Growing Up Hip Hop cast in LA, I think they're pretty boring, to be honest with you. This season, to me, people do think it's entertaining because of Brianna Latrice. But I'm going to be honest with you, I can't stand her. I really don't like that girl. I really don't like her. And to me, the season 3 finale that aired last week, I would say the last 7 minutes was the most interesting one because the bitch finally got checked. And I'm here to break it down. So throughout the season, what I found really interesting was that although it was 7 people featured in the Love and Hip Hop Season 3 promo, it was actually a cast of 8. The people that was featured was Little Romeo, Angela Simmons, her sister, Vanessa Simmons, was she's a new addition to the show, Egypt, who was Peps and Tresh's daughter, so that's 4. Let me see who else. Oh, Christinia's a Blige, she makes 5. Boogie Dash, which is Dame Dash's son, he makes 6. And 7, which is the son of Jam Master Jay. Now, we didn't see him that much in the season because I was looking for him. He was only featured in 1 episode, but that was actually a good thing because he was touring and he was actually getting real paper. So I don't blame him for trying to cut back his schedule just to film on a reality show that's not one of the top 10 reality shows on TV. It doesn't make sense. So that was a smart business move. He was getting he's getting real bread. He was building up his career, But still, he was featured as a full-time cast member. However, the person that we saw the most wasn't even featured in the promos. Wasn't even featured in both the visual promos or the televised promos. And that is Brianna Latrice Isaacs, who is the former stepdaughter of Mary J. Blige. She is the biological child of Kenzu Isaacs, which most of the world can't stand his ass. And I don't blame them, myself included. I can't stand her father for what he did to Mary J. Blige, but that's a whole entirely different subject. But I want to concentrate on her specifically because she wasn't in the promos for the season, but she was in every single episode. And what we saw of her wasn't the best. It was pretty much ratchetness meets bouginess, and more of the ratchetness was visible, but she disguised herself as being bougie because she does speak well. That's Brianna. But I would also add that she has a side of bipolar. And Brianna to me is a dangerous person. She comes off like she's a down, straight up chick, but she's not. To me, I think she's a complete phony. I think she bullies girls, and I think she aligns herself with girls who are weaker than her so that when it's time to jump bad, she's ready to jump bad and she punks them. That's what Brianna Latrice represents to me. And that's what she was doing on the show throughout the season. She first tried Angela Simmons. Now, Angela Simmons, I'm not a fan of hers because I think the girl is fake. I think she's fake. I really do. I think that she's fake. I think the way her sister speaks is fake. And that's why I never liked the show Run's House, because I couldn't take the two sisters. Everybody else was cool, but I couldn't take those two sisters. I really couldn't. And they were fake. And, you could kind of understand somebody not really liking Angela Simmons because she comes off fake. However, Angela Simmons says something in the first episode of the season that I thought was really interesting when she said, I'm not going to film with this girl because I don't do Love and Hip Hop. I don't do Ratchet TV. And that's what Brianna is. So I said, well, I didn't really see last season, so I'm going to give her a chance. Okay, so I watched the whole season, and I noticed that once that whole incident happened, after the first 3 times, she let it go. But she let it go because Angela Simmons wasn't feeding into her nonsense. So it was more like, let me find another target. So here is where she started going after Christina DeBarge. Now, in the show, throughout the season, there's a rumor that is spread about Christina DeBarge sleeping with her manager, producer, who is named, he has Adonis, who is a big-time producer, 3-time Grammy Award-winning producer. He produced a lot of people's music, particularly Usher's Confessions, and he won a Grammy for that. But he's done a lot of producing. He produced a lot of #1 hits, not just on R&B, but also on the pop charts. So she got a big producer who she aligned herself with, and that's a good look. Brianna ain't got that. She don't have that, But anyway, the guy who introduces the rumor to the cast is the hairstylist of Pepper from Salt and Pepper. So he talks about how, word on the street is that Christina DeBarge is sleeping with Adonis. So Pepper's shocked because she's like, Adonis, I've known Adonis for years. And Christina, she's like a little girl. I don't really see her doing that. So TT is in the room when this is going on. And TT, who's another messy chick, she carries the whole story, and she goes from hearing it to telling it to none other than Brianna Latrice. Now, Brianna Latrice confronts Christina DeBarge about it, and she says, I'm not, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. And Christina DeBarge had every right to, because first of all, whether it's true or not, it's none of your business, okay? So instead of Brianna, letting it go and saying, all right, fine, whatever, it's your life, hopefully it was not true, whatever. She takes it personal because she got shut down, and she starts to create an enemy with Christina. Christina don't have a beef with her on the show, but Brianna still pushes it. So they're at a dinner, and TT confronts Christina about it. And Christina's like, I don't want to talk about it. Let the subject go. I didn't want to talk about it before, and I don't want to talk about it now. So Brianna says, I came to you as a friend about the whole situation, and the least you could do is, just, say if it's true or not. She said, I told you it wasn't true, and I don't want to talk about it. Brianna gets defensive, and, the bitch is drunk and everything. And instead of, not talking about it at that point, she starts, getting, all upset. So Christina checked her and said, I was a really good friend to you. When you was getting your ass beat by Iman, which was last season, I came to the hospital to see how you was doing when you was crying, because nobody else wanted to see how you was doing. Nobody seemed to care about you. So then she was like, excuse me, that doesn't mean you was a good friend because you came to the hospital. You just came to the hospital to be nosy. And that's when I said, Christina, let the bitch go. The bitch is ungrateful. She's an idiot. She's trash. You don't need her around you, period. You don't even need her as an acquaintance. Fuck the bitch. Move on. You got a career going. That bitch don't. Seriously. She's a talented artist. But to me, her attitude is so funky that I don't see her. She could go so far with her artwork if she didn't have that attitude. But I'm gonna hold that off for another day. But meanwhile, fast forward to the finale, and Christiania tells Adonis, Brianna's been, contacting me to apologize, but I don't want to hear from her, mainly because I have nothing to say to the girl. After what she said to me the last time we met, that I wasn't a good friend for her, what's the point of talking to her? And she had every right to, and I was like, you know what? That's what's up. Don't say nothing to the grimy bitch. She dirty just like her daddy. So, Christiania finds out she's going to be walking in a fashion show, the same fashion show that Egypt is going to be in. And, she walks. And after the fashion show was over, she sees Brianna Latrice. Now, Brianna Latrice claims she didn't know that Christiania was going to walk. I believe that 50%. I think she got a tidbit, which is why she was there. I don't believe she didn't know. I don't believe it. I believe that somebody probably told her Christiania was going to be there, but she probably didn't know that she was going to walk. But I believe that somebody told her that Christiania was going to be at the show, because she probably wouldn't have went there if she wasn't, because she was too ready to say what she had to say. So Christiania is being congratulated for participating in the show, and Brianna, says, can I have a sidebar with you? And Christiania flat out says, nope. And Brianna says, okay, fuck you. And I don't want to have nothing to say to you ever again. And so Christiania said, I don't want to have nothing to say to you too, bitch. Fuck you too, bitch. She was like, you're a bitch. I don't want to deal with you, and get out of my life. So Brianna, instead of, not saying anything when she said no, she escalated and calls her a hoe, says she's fucking a pit bull, which was disrespectful, number one, in my opinion. But number two, when Christiania was talking, she was like, I'm talking, bitch. She was like, you gonna let me speak, bitch, and all this like really gutter talk. But I like the fact that Christiania stood her ground and let her know, I may be from the pop world. My last name may be Blige, but I'm not a punk. And if you was to put your hands on me, I will hurt you. She was showing her that she wasn't scared. And I love the fact that she was reminding her, bitch, you're not even real hip-hop. Your stepmom is Mary J. Blige, and she's not married to your father anymore. You're no longer her stepdaughter. So you're fucking irrelevant. And that's true. And also, Christiania is hip-hop because her family, the DeBarge, which includes her father, is the most sampled hip-hop group in music history. It's the most sampled musical group in hip-hop history. That's a fact. I'm sorry, I phrased it wrong. But to sum it all up before I end this topic, Brianna got checked. And somebody finally checked her. And it wasn't going to be Angela Simmons, because that's a punk. That's a punk bitch. I'm sorry. Forgive me. That's a punk. Don't mean to call her a bitch, but that's a punk. But I loved how Vanessa looked at Christiania and was saying with her eyes, you go, girl. Finally, somebody got the guts to shut this bitch down. Because the bitch is irrelevant. And to me, also, the worst thing about Brianna Latrice is that she goes after girls who are weak. And there's nothing classy about this girl. This girl makes videos on Instagram talking about the drugs she claims she uses, which is 7 years of meth plus a couple of times of crack mixed with ecstasy, called it Special K, and said it was the best eye she ever got. Honest drug addicts don't want to talk about their drug use. Most of them are ashamed of it. For somebody to brag about that means one thing. She probably did drugs, and she's probably a crazy bitch, or she probably is a poser. And all she probably did was just smoke weed. But anyway, this is Miss Analytical 1. I'm about to bounce from here. It was lovely chatting with you all, and I'll see you next time.